Good morning, 11:55 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Friday, January 20th, 2023. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So I wanted to do an emergency technical analysis here because XRP is pushing up, but we have to take a look at the kind of push up we're having. I want to discuss the volume breakdown real quick, and I want to look at within a little bit deeper when we get into the Bitcoin chart, because I want to do a jam-pack update here. I know I just did one about an hour and a half ago, so that video will probably get no views whatsoever now that I'm doing another one on top of it, but that's okay. I do my videos for the people who want to see it, and if you're paying attention to every video, you can start to get some kind of a trend of what I like to do. I do come on quite often. I've only been doing 2 or 3 updates a day the last couple days because of my dental work, but you're going to see a lot more throughout the day now that I'm starting to feel a tad bit better here. So I want to thank everybody who watched the first video. I think 200 people have watched it so far, so I'm happy about that. And if it gets lost in the shuffle, so be it, but we have to pay attention right now. XRP is moving up, but as you can see, this push up, we have decreasing in volume. And if we could just get a big candlestick here of volume, that's the urgency here. If we could get a big candlestick of volume, we could push out of this area and make a move to 45 cents. It's just the volume profile right now, and I never want to pay attention right now to just volume because of the mass manipulation in broader markets. As you've seen this morning, the Dow was down over 100 points originally, as the NASDAQ was up over 130, so in my last, or over 140. So in my last update, I said that it looks like the Dow is going to reverse because that just seems like an anomaly. And it has. It's come up a little bit. But now we have to see how the grander markets play out. And right now for XRP, let's take a little focus here real quick. XRP on this whole move up. So on the dump volume, and if you were watching the live a few days ago, I said this seems a little bullshit. Like this is a bullshit moment we're having right now when they were speaking, when the Department of Justice, when they put all the blame on Russia and didn't acknowledge anything the USA politicians or anybody did wrong in the USA with the FTX debacle. And they really came out and made it sound like that they were going to drop the hammer, but all they really did was flexing their nuts, and they were telling you better pay your taxes, they're coming after you in the USA. That was the broad message, the underlying message. Also, we have to worry about the debt ceiling, so a lot of things were going on at once. So if we focus on XRP, we had in sell volume in the, we'll go to the 30-minute can. No. We'll do the 2-hour candles. They're the easiest to see. Actually, we'll do 1 hour because this 1 hour candle is coming to a head here. So if you look at the drop, and yes, we had a little bit of dump volume because of the little, whatever you want to call it, the performance put on by the Department of Justice. So we had 6.16 million and 5.877 million. But you can directly correlate that to the meeting, to the emergency press conference. Then now on the return rally of volume, I want to take a focus on when we dump down here to the 539, 356, the hold candles. Now we're going to look at the reversal candle here at 430K. And now we look at the push up, 423, 411, 388, 392, 485. Then we had a dump, a liquidity candle of 610, which is normal on a push up. Then you want to see increasing volume, 604, 640. So the volume isn't great here. I mean, we have such little volume here. That doesn't mean we can't push up and out on a fake move up. But if we're looking to have a severe move out of here, and we want to really transcend this price action, we need a volume we need a candlestick. If we get a candlestick here to push past the downtrending resistance at 40 cents, it'd be huge. There's a reason why we're getting rejected by it all the way across so far. We're not able to find the volume. I'm not saying we can't find the volume. I'm coming on right now to tell you and put you in the proper positioning. If we can find a candlestick, we can bust up to where I have circled out. That's the top of the, or the bottom of the bull flag breakdown that we have not retested since we broke down out of it. So it's been a long, wide pattern here, but ever since we broke down back here, back in November of 2022, we haven't retested it, and it's basically been an up and down game. And very volatile. A lot of people that want to trade and really want to get in the market but are afraid to get in the market, and I completely understand that because the volume and the volatility is so, it's not in our favor right now. But you know what, like I always say with manipulation, you can't just count on one thing. I expect it to go sub 20 cents. The reality of the situation is we're sub 40 cents right now, and it's a fantastic buy, anything under 40 cents, and I'll continue to preach that. Just the broader market and the broader economy of what I see in front of me makes me very uncomfortable to get into a risk-on asset at this point when it hasn't hit my target. And that was a predetermined target when XRP was at $1.70. So I didn't just draw it up yesterday. This is something that I predetermined for myself. But I also have different targets on other ISO coins and other ones in the Internet of Things as DGB and such. You got Theta in that category as well. So, VeChain. But when they start hitting my targets like DGB did, then I can start, pushing in like ZIL a little bit. But right now, I would love, for everybody who's in a spot trade right now, or even a leverage trade going long, I would love to see a candle right now. I would love to see a candle that pushes us up and then lets you break out here, because we have been sideways consolidating. We held this key X marks the spot area, and now it's like we're pushing out, but we have a resistance. Is this going to be the third hit on resistance after a couple on support to confirm this pattern? Are we going to continue to fill out and push out here until January 28th? Which leads ironically up to the Fed meetings? Or can we get a candlestick here with some volume and break us out to this range? Right now, we've been rejected, and every time we come up here, it's like a false dreams. The problem here is we legitimately have no volume. And volume isn't everything, but volume does dictate whether or not you've got institutional buyers and if you have large sums of money coming in. And right now, we don't have the large sums. We also are failing to have sellers, though, in this area. So once we get down to certain ranges, they turn off the selling, which I hate to say it, but that's what happens in a manipulated market. Because they're trying to push it up. You get more buyers, you get more liquidity for the eventual fall. You have to get more people in if you're going to sell out. The dirty, dark secret right now, and not just crypto, but risk-on assets, is somebody needs somebody else to buy their shit. So if there is no value, when they're selling, the price is going down while they're selling it and they're losing money. If you have buyers coming in with small pump-ups, bear market rallies, the people within the positions can sell out and they have the capital in return because somebody else is buying it for more. So there's a lot going on here. And it really does. This current environment, I've made no bones about it, makes me very nervous to be in risk on. That's why I put a lot of backing into my gold and silver bullion, my precious metals. Why I did put in what I did with DGB at 0.0063, because it was at a level where I like. Acknowledging that it can go down much further, but that was my first level buy. Why I liked ZIL at 1516. That was my first level buy. That's why I put it in. I wish, like I've been saying, I wish XRP would have followed the same suit and allowed me to do what I wanted to do, but it has not yet. I've already had the run up from 0.298, 0.312 and sold at 42.5 cents. So I did have a nice push up when I first bought back in for the first time after $1.66. But now I've made it I'm determined to play it out. And in the end, people are like, well, what if you mix XRP? I don't believe I'm going to miss XRP, but let's just say on the off chance that it did happen, and XRP I had to buy in at 50 cents, so be it. Or 52 cents, I'm fine with that. But what I've been telling everybody is XLM, XDC, don't overlook those. It's the 3 X's here. If we're going to do this right, you've got to have XRP, XLM, and XDC, and I'm going to continue to push that message, as now that we're pretty comfortable with the XRP chart. The same thing that we're concerned about XRP with XLM is there. It looks like we're in some kind of channel here that we're trying to break out of. We just don't have a lot of volume. We had massive sell volume. And like I said, with XRP and XLM and most of crypto, we're looking for a candlestick. We're looking for a big candlestick here. And if we can get it, it can break the ship here a little bit and we can move out of this area at least and get rejected at the next. But it'll save a lot of people that are in the dissatisfaction of having to lose money on a buy that hasn't panned out. Right now, there's always areas. You can always find areas to trade. Like right now. You can always look at something to make you feel better. See XDC, what we just did here? Whoops. Now we can look at XDC almost as if, hey, you know what? It's creating a new line of resistance that it's actually pushing over if we do it like this. If we come out here, it's a little less obvious, but You can do something like that to make yourself feel good and be like, all right, this is the first step. If we can get on top of here for XLM, hold 844, maybe just maybe this fake J hook can push past the 200 day. But we're sandwiched right now. We're absolutely sandwiched right now. And the biggest problem we're having is we're not getting that candlestick. This is your major resistance right now is at 8618. And that would be where we push up in the short term, assuming we can hold this formation. And that's the significance of me showing you this little itty bitty drawing. Because it can move up to the 864 approximately. That's it. And to get out of this area, this is the next major area. If we can get out of here, then, like I've been saying, then you can try to make a run up to that 10.6. Because if you break out of here, just like with XRP, you're looking at a 20 or 25% gain if we can get past 40 cents. That's, or 41 cents ultimately. But you'd be looking at a run back up. We'll see exactly how much it is. Let's just say from here if we held this. That's 13% just up to here on a spot trade. If we made it to the top of the formation all the way up to 48, that's 21.6%. That's if we got back within the bull flag and we started playing out. So that's a 20% plus 13% from the top of this pattern. And then I'll get the questions in the comments. Well, what if we break down? Well, okay, since we got to look at both sides all the time. And I like doing that. So if we get rejected here, we'll put it at 3985. You come back down to the uptrending support. That's a 6% decrease. And then if you have to come back down to the downtrending support line instead of the symmetrical support, then all of a sudden you start to come, or I mean, instead of the ascending support, if you come to the downtrending support that's been created in the channel, then all of a sudden you're down about 9.5%. So it's anywhere from a 6 to 9.5% drop. Or if you break out, you're looking at the potential of 13.3%. But you could have a rejection at that 41 cent level at about 2.28% up. So that's the overextension of a wick we'd have to pay attention to. Many will probably be like, well, I don't understand why you'd be showing us all this. So that you understand. So we can get a common feel with each other. So we understand the market as it is now. Taking out all the FUD. Taking out all the bear market bullshit. And all the bottom bullshit. Just looking at the current price action, I think was the best thing I could do in this update. And I want to end it with the 3 X's, as a lot more updates are going to be XRP, XLM, and XDC, because I'm a firm believer of X and Fin. I'm a firm believer of XDC, and I firmly believe XDC is for the little guy and the businesses that get overshadowed, or maybe the new entrepreneur that comes into the blockchain because XRP is a little too big for its bridges. Not in a bad way, just that the fact it's a $1 billion industry, as to where XLM, you know, it hasn't quite achieved that yet. So it allows more opportunity for the smaller guys like you and I. So, and XLM is there in the middle. They are the peer-to-peer as XRP's business-to-business. But they all play their own role, and you must own equal weight in all three. If you just want to hold equal shares, that's fine. So this is the ascending triangle that we formed. It's a symmetrical resistance, though. So, I mean, slightly downtrending. And right now we have to break out of 0.0281. And that would ultimately push us up to this overextension at a 0.029 on the broken bull flag. But we're trapped right now with XDC. Mainly because we haven't had a big volume spike to push us out of this consolidation. But we need to break over 0.280. Or break down below 0.270. So basically a one time, 0.28 resistance. Or 0.28 resistance, 0.27 support. Make sure to hit that like button. I really do appreciate everybody who came back to watch the second update, as I think this is the most important update I've done in quite some time.